ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Nexon Arena here in Seoul, South Korea for the 7th IESF World Championship. My name is Rapid. Joining me once again, Justin. How's it going?
I'm doing fine. All these games have been very much exciting, so...
Very much indeed. Particularly our last game, South Africa taking on Thailand. Definitely the closest match that we've seen here today. So I'm excited to see our next two teams with Romania facing off against Tunisia. Now, Romania actually fielding a professional national team there, XPC Gaming. It's going to be interesting to see what Tunisia can bring out. They've got some name synergy, which we'll go over here in just a little bit, as the Spleet Pushers take on XPC from Romania. And after as exciting a game as our last one was, it's going to be hard to top it.
Yeah, last game was very even in terms of how the teams played. They feel like they utilized a lot of their composition very well. It turned out the way I feel like it was supposed to happen. I want to see what the Romanian teams bring into this game, because they do have a lot of ex-pro or pro players or high-level challengers from previous teams. So. Right,
especially for me, I'm going to be looking towards the support role there for Romania. AOD is a player that you guys may have remembered from other teams. You see where they stand in their own group with Romania coming into this game after a loss to China, I believe. And then, of course, Tunisia losing to Australia, who's 1-0 in their Group C. We've got the Group A results with wins for Chinese Taipei, Serbia, and Mongolia. Israel, unfortunately, winless currently. Of course, Group B, you can see Thailand 2-0, and Switzerland taking a win there. South Africa, 2 losses, Iran at 1. And then in Group D, Korea taking their first win, along with a win there for Russia, which we saw earlier today. Indonesia and the Philippines both taking losses in Group D, and that's going to round it out for our group stages. So we've got a couple more matches coming up today. The 5th match of the day will be Tunisia's Spleet Pushers versus XPC Gaming or Team Romania. See the matchups there with AOD versus Nightmare. That's going to be exciting to watch. Gabano versus Stack, another, of course, big matchup as well. Gustav versus Armored Dragon. Xerxes versus Spleet. Then Stay Away Yi versus Aldi. Now, Stay Away Yi was actually previously named Stay Away Spleet, and then you also had Spleet there, so maybe some name synergy there, but now it's actually Stay Away Yi. Will we see Yi banned? I don't know if that's necessarily going to happen, but certainly some interesting names there from Tunisia.
I mean, Spleet does play jungle, so that might be his pocket pick, Master E. Maybe E and Spleet goes hand in hand with each other. Maybe that's why I named it like that. But also, another great player that I want to see perform well is Gabano, who apparently reached ranked 1 in the US and ranked 3 in the EU, and he won once before?
Yeah, he's actually been incredibly prolific as far as solo queue goes. If you're from EU West, you've probably heard of Gabano, but since playing more for Romanian national teams, he's actually been on, playing on EU Nordic East. He's gotten very, very high ranked over there as well. So pretty prolific as far as solo queue goes. So the duo lane's what you're going to look for from Romania. And of course, switching things over to Tunisia, not a team that I've had a chance to watch play before, but probably some synergy there between top and jungle if they're going to pick names that are the same for each other.
Yeah, I'm looking for a great mid-jungle synergy here. Or maybe it's Stay Away Spleet, so he might not be coming to mid lane at all.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, maybe that means he's just gonna stay away from the rest of his lanes. Still waiting on the players from both teams to make their way into the lobby to get everything up and ready to go. It does look like we're almost ready to hop into picks and bans here. Keep in mind this is our next to last match of the day, so we've been seeing a lot of great group stage action. Keep in mind this is just the preliminaries, so we've got a lot more League of Legends, Hearthstone, StarCraft action coming up later on this week. We'll be seeing that mostly tomorrow and the following days here. But today, it's all League of Legends. We're getting through some actually pretty incredible games there. You may not expect tons of esports, action infrastructure from some of these nations that aren't quite as widely publicized, but that's one of the cool things about IESF is you get the opportunity to come see teams from Tunisia, teams from all over the world really compete here in some of the most popular esports titles. If you're from a country that has a large esports scene, you're pretty used to that. Not all of these countries here are, and it's exciting to get to know more about their scenes, more about their players, and see how they face off against the rest of the world.
And this is also a very stepping stone to a lot of these players to get much more exposure so they can maybe get picked up by professional teams later on in their career.
Absolutely. If you're one of the few players from your team that just has a breakout performance in international tournaments like this. Like, this kind of experience is actually pretty hard to come by. If you qualify for IESF via your national qualifiers, then finally make it here to Seoul, South Korea. I mean, I talked to a lot of these players. For some of them, it's the first time out of the country. For others, it's their first time to South Korea to compete on a stage as big as this one here in the Nexon Arena. So I'm actually excited to see how they deal with this pressure, representing not only their team, but also their entire country here at the IESF World Championships.
And from what I know about Team Romania, they've just been picked up by a professional team recently, very recently.
Yeah, very recently. Actually, just finished reading an interview with XPC Gaming on their new League of Legends squad. Pretty impressive from the pool of Romanian talent, and Romania has been really up and coming in a lot of different esports. We'll be seeing them compete in those mostly tomorrow. But they're coming into this game after a devastating loss versus China. It was pretty one-sided, so won't go into too many details about that, but hopefully we'll be able to get in here to our game here in just a second, as it looks like the players are continuing to get ready. But yeah, Romania, very strong team, nationally, but when they faced off against China and Korea, two of the big powerhouse squads, many have actually favored to win this tournament, so we've got a lot to watch out for. I know Korea and China both won their first games of the group stages, so it's going to be interesting to see how both of those teams continue throughout the group stage. And of course, Romania here coming in off of a loss, looking for a win here. We've already seen Chinese Taipei do the same thing, lose the game and then come back to win their next group stage match. So see if Romania can do the same.
These games, and just because of how long the tournament is, it's very important that you adapt every single game to the meta that not the patch itself, but the meta of the tournament itself, because they exist. So it'll be nice to see how a couple of these teams adapt as the games go on.
Right. I've gotten a couple of tweets like, why on earth would this team ban this champion? It doesn't make any sense. Well, keep in mind a lot of these teams, they may just play like general strategies, but many bring their own specific style from their own region, which may not be comparable to any of the main regions that you may be more familiar with. So anytime you're looking for each individual differences, it's actually pretty exciting to see what some of these regions come up with. Like, we saw a double bird lane from Anivia and Quinn. Like, where else do you see that other than IESF? So a lot of these teams, they've got something to prove, and they're bringing out some pretty unique strategies. They're going to be exciting to watch.
And
but
the game that we just saw coming from South Africa and Thailand, and talked to the top laner that ran Pantheon with Ignite. He said that's one of his pocket picks. So like a lot of these teams that won't have much exposure, so a lot of these pocket picks might be actually coming out because there are no ways to prepare for them. And if you get struck with something that you're unprepared for, you might not be able to play a best of your abilities. So that's why it's been hard in terms of seeing what might get picked or what might get banned, but it's also very exciting.
All right, well, it looks like both teams are in the lobby, ready to go. We should have picks and bans coming up here in just a second. So I don't know if you guys are as excited as I am, but the League of Legends action is going to continue. Should be looking to hop into picks and bans here in just a second. We've got Romania versus Tunisia coming your way in the 5th preliminary match of the game. The team's already starting up here with champion picks and bans about to get underway. So here we go, looking to start things off there with the picks and bans. Haven't seen any just yet, but I would imagine that, we're going to be seeing a lot of top lane focus. We've got Fiora, we've got Dr. Mundo, the first two bans of this game.
Dr. Mundo, as I mentioned before, very strong in this meta, so great ban by them. Fiora also a very good split pusher, a top tier top laner. But a lot of things needs to go right to run the Fiora comp at this moment with the new preseason patches going in.
Not a whole lot has to go right for Tahm Kench to be a good champion, so nice to see that ban there. A Gangplank ban. This is the first Gangplank ban we've seen of the broadcasted games today. Definitely deserved, not quite as strong as he used to be, but certainly has some undeniable strength.
Yeah, Gangplank I feel like was a top ban or pick or ban priority coming into this tournament. I haven't seen it get picked or banned till now. Gangplank has a lot of synergy with his ult with top lane ganks and bot lane ganks, can turn 2v3, a 2v2 into a 3v3, a 3v2 I mean.
So there's a Rek'Sai ban. Now, that's been a little bit hit or miss. Lee Sin ban, that's the first one we've seen here.
I want to see a Lee come out of here maybe, because that's probably only god tier jungler left.
Right.
As now, or even Kindred. Or Lulu.
Or Lulu. Like you said, Lulu not a champion that teams have been willing to ban, but just absolutely ridiculous there. Aldi is going to be going in for a Gnar lock-in. Traditionally, we've seen top lane picks you'll be saved until the later parts of the draft just because of how those counters work out. Because Lulu is not necessarily a top lane champion. A lot of flexibility there for Tunisia.
Lulu definitely is a flex pick, but I think they just don't want to show their jungler or other laners, since we already know what top may be. So Gnar coming in here might not be a bad idea. Does okay against Lulu compared to other AD-based champions just because he has range. But
right. Now, a couple of champions to really talk about. Gnar is by far Aldi's best champion. So we're going to see Gnar, might see a Draven picked up for Gabano. So that's the big pocket pick to watch out for here. And while AOD has a very well-rounded champion pool, we've got a couple of other pocket picks to watch out for here as well. Hecarim in the jungle for Xerxes was one of the big champions that he was very widely known for. However, you can't really pass up getting Elise as one of the top tier junglers on this patch.
Of course. And now with the Elise being taken away, now Blue team has choice whether they want to show their laners or their junglers. Guess they're going for a Hecarim jungle and Aurelia top here?
Yeah, we actually talked I just mentioned Hecarim is a strong jungle pick there for Romania, but now it looks like it's actually being taken away by the Spleet pushers. So Tunisia willing to grab that one out there. And a Shen, so Shen, Lulu, that is going to be a lot of protection for whoever gets caught out.
Yep. Shen here probably coming in here for support, might be ran top lane, I don't know, but definitely had jungle Hecarim coming here. We saw Cao run it during Worlds to not much success, but it has been seen worked before, so.
And this could still be Hecarim top lane with a Shen in the support role and a Lulu mid. So still some flexibility there in for Tunisia. But for Gustav, another one of his pocket picks has actually been Karthus. Now, he actually used to play AD carry for the squad. He actually has switched things back up from being an AD carry to being a mid laner. He specialized in Karthus, but it looks like Ahri is going to be the direction he wants to go for. And while Gabano's Draven was something that he got a lot of hype from the previous years, it does look like a Vayne pick going to get locked in for him. And Gustav, he's thinking about the Ahri. Certainly no problems with picking Ahri. It's a relatively safe lane, but maybe not something you want to give away too early. And all of this to save the support pick for last, which is not something that you see a lot of teams go with, considering how strong a counter pick that can be.
Thresh coming here. I feel like the only support left at this point, and then is Alistar, or I guess Morgana's open too. Caitlyn, a very strong AD carry in this meta right now. Definitely good AD carry to run with this Lulu comp in the top lane, and Shen now also Lulu in the mid lane and Shen coming in the top lane, and Thresh for more utility. So.
Yeah, pretty much a triple support there if you want to count Shen as a support for the AD carry. You talked about how strong Caitlyn is, able to throw out so many traps so quickly, given that ammo system. And man, I don't know what kind of support AOD is going to pull out here. Is it worthy of a last pick? We're about to find out. Now, keep in mind, AOD is a name you might have heard of. He is the team captain for XBC, and he used to play with H2K last year. So that's if you've heard of AOD, that's probably where you've heard of him. The Janna pick here would be pretty good with Vayne. Janna Vayne, a relatively strong lane there. We've seen Morgana banned out a lot in this tournament as well, but could be a pick that AOD wants to run with, but instead, just going to drop that exhaust Janna.
So looking at this comp right here from Spleet pushers, we see, again, Lulu coming in mid and Shen coming in the top, so they're looking for more mid to late game oriented team composition. Here we have Elise, who is more focused on the early game aspect, and then when it comes to team fights with Gnar and Janna, can create a lot of zones for the AD carry to do a lot of free damage in the back line. So I think that's what they're going for here with the Vayne pick, and Ahri has a lot of assassin kill potential also. So.
I'm still thinking that XBC may have wanted to play a few more comfort picks, but you can't always get what you want. If you try sometime, just mine. Anyway, but these are the champion picks and pans for game number 5, or at least our 5th broadcasted game here of the 7th IESF World Championships. We're about to load into that 5th game coming up here in just a second. I know I am super excited to watch Romania take on Tunisia. It's the first game that we've gotten a chance to see of both of these countries represented here. Of the 20-plus countries and over 200 esports athletes competing here at IESF. Number 7, it's going to be exciting to watch out for who's going to come out on top. Romania, they're coming off of a loss to China, so they're trying to bring themselves back into this. And for Tunisia, still trying to put themselves on the map, loading into our 5th game of the day. Let's go ahead and get this underway with the champions finally starting to pop up on the Rift. Here we go.
We might see a lane swap coming from this game.
It'll be exciting. We've already seen one lane swap here, and it looks like we're going to have a brief delay before the game starts. We just want to take care of a couple of issues, technical issues, before we start things off. But should have that ready and up and ready to go. I think I said ready like 8 times that sentence, so hopefully you get the idea. I'm looking forward to some League of Legends, pauses, nice ways. You know, if you need to run to the kitchen for a drink, head on over there. Come back pretty soon because we are ready to get this game underway, or at least hopefully we will be here in just a second. I was looking in the back when they were like, you know, hey, you guys need any drinks, any coffee, any water, and they have 4,000 energy drinks back there ready for us to drink. I was like, okay, I think I'm going to be able to handle this. So we're going to be sustained up here, and I hope you guys are getting hydrated at home, ready to get some League of Legends action going on here, as it does look like issues are being worked towards being resolved. So.
Yeah, so just to talk about something before the game starts, about lane swapping, also trying to talk about Caitlyn counters Vayne very hard in lane, but so does Gnar against Shen. So
yeah. I was actually really surprised when it was Gnar into Lulu. I was like, okay, well, maybe that works out, you know, evenly depending on who gets ahead. But yeah, Gnar into Shen. Shen is just up there to take a beating.
Yes, it's all Gnar. The way the Gnar and Shen lane goes is like, if Gnar doesn't get taunted, if he just dodges with E, then there's no way that Shen can trade at all.
Yeah, Shen just has to like walk around in really slow circles. It's gonna be a little bit rough, especially since Aldi, this is his key champion. Like, if you ever see this guy play competitively, you're either gonna see Gnar bans, Gnar picks, or maybe something else really OP left open. So Aldi, he's got a lot of strength behind him on that champion. So be excited to see that play there. And you can of course see the Romanian team there on your screen right now. There's Aldi up there in the top lane, and of course looking to. Actually, I think that was the bottom lane, AOD and Gabano. So maybe he's a childish Gabano. We'll get a chance to see that. Looks like we're still resolving a few issues here, so it might take a little bit of time to come back from this. I'm not sure if we're going to continue this or head on out of here. It just depends on whether or not the referees, you can see them walking into the booth right now, trying to communicate, see if we can get everything ready to go. I just want to cast some League of Legends because I know that's what I came here for, and it's actually really impressive to watch a lot of the different teams sit around in the crowd and like study their opposing regions, try to get some research going on. Because I know, at least when I was doing research, there are some of these teams competing here, and this is their first time competing together as a group of 5. They qualified through their region's national qualifier, and they made it all the way here. But it's not, you know, a lot of these teams are just teams that came together for this tournament, and then may even just be disbanding afterwards. So this could be the only time that they get to play together, and it's been exciting to watch some of the teams really band together and develop a lot of that national synergy.
Yes. Just because we never seen these players before, and that's probably the same for all the other team members too from the other regions. So
to some extent, I know at least from Korea's League of Legends team representing them here, Fog is actually a team that's been playing for a while. Korea actually has a national, like not necessarily a challenger league, but like an amateur league below that that's played between PC bongs in different regions of Korea, and they'll all play against each other, and then the top 2 teams will play offline, and the winner of that qualifies here for IESF. So It looks like we are going to take a quick break here. Apparently there's some errors with rune selection, so it looks like we're going to go ahead, grab a quick restart in here, and we'll be back after about a 5-minute break. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back as soon as this game gets back underway here in IESF 7th World Championships in Seoul, South Korea. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the 7th IESF World Championships. Coming to you live from the Nexon Arena in Seoul, South Korea. We are about to get underway with our 5th preliminary match of the day as Romania takes on Tunisia. We're going to get that game coming up for you here in just a second. Had a quick remake. We're ready to go in with game number 5. About a lot of group stage action here today, but it's been exciting to see some of the teams rise to the top and look to qualify for their region to represent their nation here in the playoffs coming up tomorrow. And here we are with game number 5. You can see Romania, your team on the red side of the map on the right, facing off against the Tunisian Spleet pushers. There, of course, you can see their namesake Spleet in the jungle on jungle Hecarim. Kind of an interesting pick for the purposes of this tournament, but both teams already using that home guard bonus to run out onto the map and get things started. Already a quick recall, as you know, you probably should buy items before you come out of base.
Of course.
All right, well, now that we've got all 5 players on both teams with their prerequisite items, I think sometimes you run out of base, you're like, hey, maybe I can get something accomplished and then go back and buy a bigger item, but yeah, probably good to start with some of those.
First game jitters, you know.
You're like, all right, guys, let's go.
Let's go.
Wait a second. I
need my Doran's ring.
Yeah, probably want to go ahead and pick that up. So here we go. Both teams looking to start. Now, we talked about some 2v1 potentials here for both sides. Vayne Janna into Caitlyn Thresh, not super great. Just like the top lane matchup is a little bit rough as well. Gnar, pretty good pick against Shen as long as he doesn't get taunted. Able to dodge that out there. But it does look like both teams are setting up for standard lanes. So I'm not sure exactly what we're going to have work out here. Also, double jungling could be something that we're going to look for here between Spleet and Stay Away Spleet. He did actually change his name to Stay Away Spleet here as well. So I'm glad we got that name synergy represented here in game.
Probably should call him Stay Away from this for this game, but yeah, top Hecarim starting on top side of this jungle and then trying to move down for the level 3.
All right, now we do have some headshots starting to proc there. Is Stack. It'll be interesting to see how he wants to use those. We're looking for level 2s here off of this next wave coming up. And Stack and Nightmare, I'm not sure if they've pushed that wave quite as hard as they could have. It's one of the big things about Caitlyn Thresh is it actually works really, really well to push early, get that level 2 advantage, and make that happen. So let's see if we have any other action out there on the map. Spleet's just waiting for a few of his potions to tick down, his cooldowns to come back up, and he's on his way through the jungle. Haven't seen too many difficulties in any of the lanes just yet. I say that and then I look top lane, and Aldi's up to an 11 versus 4 CS lead, just completely bullying that Shen.
He's going to get some CS off of this right now, but definitely this is going to be the story of this lane going forward with this game.
Actually, didn't Gnar get... Yeah, Mega Gnar actually got buffed this patch. He got 25 extra range on his Mega Gnar auto attack range. So it actually makes a little bit more sense to this huge Mega Gnar. You can actually hit stuff farther away. So nice to see maybe a few buffs coming in there. Didn't necessarily see that one coming, but there's a taunt there onto Aldi. Really, really good to see that work out for Stay Away Spleet. You gotta fight back in that lane. Yeah,
but you can't get hit by those haunts. That's just the thing with Gnar and Shen matchup is you have to dodge that with E or just however trying to get speed buff off of the 3rd hit on minions, stuff like that. You just can't get taunted because that goes in for equal trade and that's not what you're looking for in that lane.
All right, well now we're going to see maybe some turnaround action as far as jungle pressure goes. Actually, a lot of it on the bottom half of the map, but at least top side, maybe looking for a dive. And dive's really easy to set up in that matchup just because Gnar pushes a little bit more effectively than Shen does early on. Range versus melee pretty much works out. But instead, Xerxes, I'm not sure what he's really trying to accomplish. Does get a deep ward though, and that's going to be really important for trying to keep aware this top half of the map where that jungle action. However, a good ward behind the turret there. Stay Away Spleet. Gonna see it coming.
Trial was just warded, so they know now at least it's in the top side. Hecarim going in here for the gank.
Nice condemn. So Gabano's gonna be pretty okay there. not in too much trouble, and I really haven't seen too many things to worry about so far this game. 5 to 10 CS advantage top lane, not anything to write home about, but Nightmare actually getting that third proc of Silver Bolts to take him down below half HP. He got the Targon's proc to get him a little bit more health. Relic Shield, I'm sorry. I just call it Targon's because back when it was first released as an item, you used to buy it as a jungler and top lane synergy as well, and it was just like super high sustain. You used to see 80 carries and supports both buy that item because Targon's Brace was so strong. Ever since it's been nerfed there, I guess the name's kind of stuck away, but...
and something to mention about this game is that... Oh, here comes the game.
Okay, a little bit of damage there. Actually, a lot of damage. Holy cow, Spleet, and there was so much, and actually it's going to be first blood. Not able to close out that kill there. Spleet putting down way more damage than I expected.
Maybe he thought it flash forward, tried to get into the auto range.
Nightmare. Nightmare's looking for the Destiny. The flash, the ignite. Oh my gosh, yes, Gustav! Nightmare making a comeback from behind play. So impressive there. That support roam is deadly.
Great play now, but the thing I wanted to mention though before that is that Vayne actually isn't doing too bad against this Caitlyn right now. They're even in CS now with the Thresh roaming mid lane. They got some damage chunks onto Caitlyn.
Oh my gosh, that landed! What was that extra range? Like you buff Gnar, Mega Gnar auto attack, and the range. A lot of damage onto Gabano, but trading it right back. I think Gabano might have been able to tumble forward for a kill there. Maybe better safe than sorry. Summoner heal still available for Caitlyn, so really not in any real danger. Was forced to be used there by Gabano though, so that is a summoner advantage for Stack.
Yeah, Nightmare taking complete control over this game for the past minute or so, pulling that successful gank off at top mid, and not coming back straight for a hook. So.
Well, now we have to keep an eye on this jungle pressure as it looks like Elise coming back to top lane. What is going to happen here as it does look like Death Sentence will land bottom. It's going to be pulling Hecarim on in and on out again there. Spleet will be, or stay away from Spleet. Will be forced to flash away there. Ollie's going the distance there. It's going to get at least one hyper proc off there. So nice block there. His shield. Shen able to at least sustain through a little bit of that damage, but I don't know. It's certainly been a little bit of a rough lane up top. Although CS advantage is not as difficult as we expected it to be.
No. We see Caitlyn going back first and then pick up that BF right away. I'm really curious to see how Vayne in this game will itemize, because the games that we've seen before, we saw them rush static shift first item, and then I personally don't think that's a very good idea just in terms of the nerfs that came in, but see Nightmare come in for another roam.
Yeah, Nightmare's so fast. The Destinus lands again. How does he hit every one? This roam is ridiculous. And Gustav going to take half his HP and damage there. Nightmare, he's able to somehow stealth his way right through the ward. I mean, when you see a support walk through a ward towards your lane, you're like, huh, I wonder if I'm going to get ganked there.
This is when you type your scripting.
Well, the really good Death Sentence is ready to land there, and it does catch Gustav again. Has not had a great track record this game of getting hit by death sentences. And you wouldn't expect that because he's not even laning against the Thresh. No. But preoccupation there with Nightmare, getting off some really powerful roams.
Story of mid laners in this round.
Oh, jumping forward there. Aldi, so much damage. That Phage, too strong. And stay away. Spleet's going to stay away from that top lane for about 18 more seconds. Bottom though, we got an incoming gank. The Cocoon will land on the Nightmare. Shields himself there with that lantern with Stack. Not sure if he's going to be able to kite this one back away in time. Nice damage coming back there as Xerxes able to repel away. But Spleet coming in, albeit for probably some moral support there. Unable to make a counter gank really happen there, but keeps his lane alive.
Yeah, Spleet picking Hecarim jungle here, but tried to gank bot lane twice now, but been just countered by Condemn, basically. So, no, if that was a great jungler pick at this moment, but he does have a teamfight potential, so.
Well, to be fair, Spleet is now level 6. He does have that Onslaught of Shadows ultimate available for use, so when he comes back out of base, this is going to be a much different Hecarim gank style. Much more powerful. It's going to be exciting to see if that works out. Whereas Elise doesn't really gain anything from hitting level 6. It's like, oh no. My spells are slightly stronger. But it does look like Hecarim choosing to prioritize that bottom half of the map. That's been kind of interesting to see how little effect that's having. We were actually talking earlier about some of this Vayne itemization. It's been a static shiv rush from every single Vayne that we've seen, and I haven't seen that in any other tournaments, so maybe a reaction here to this gank. Shen on top of Thresh, but a perfect Monsoon disengage. Even a teleport coming down to bottom lane, and that's not going to work out either, so a lot of eggs put in that one basket, but nothing really to accomplish there.
Yeah, Shen still has TP, so he can go back to the top lane, but that top tower is going to be pushed anyway now, so they're choosing Dragon over it. They know Gnar TP is down, so...
RTP's down, this fight's gonna happen. Nightmare, a lot of damage being done. There's a lot of damage onto Spleet there as well. Xerxes being forced to repel and flash back away. So it does look like the blue team will go ahead and secure the first dragon of the game. Tunisia on the board with that big global objective.
So, but then this top lane is gonna go down, so maybe an even trade in terms of...
Well, Shen does have teleports, so he's able to TP up here to the minion wave to try to stop that, but he knows that he'd be left in that lane with a Gnar who could probably just kite him to death afterwards.
Yep.
And you can see that he's going for a Sunfire Cape there as well. It seems like great Shen itemization in that matchup, but you're actually taking a lot of magic damage from Gnar through those hyper procs, so... I mean, to be fair, it's one of the struggles against just laning against Gnar in general. It's like you're taking the persistent physical damage, but also a lot of the magic damage there too. Although, yeah, just look at how powerful this kite is there. Aldi wants to get in there, getting land as slow. The flash in, the Gnar against the wall. There's the crunch. The house does not hit. It hits a minion before the champion. Unfortunately, unable to find that kill, but there's gonna be a flash blown from Aldi, and Shen survives.
Good attempt though, good attempt. Flash is still up for Shen, so he can go for that flash E.
If there's a traditional sport, you'd say good hustle.
Good hustle.
But that's really just something that you say after somebody tried to do something, but it didn't quite have the total effects. Like, hey, it's like in Wheel of Fortune. It's like, good answer. It's like, yeah, you did something correct, but it's still not the end of the world. We'll see if how that top lane turns around now that Gnar is able to pick up a first item Black Cleaver, really putting to use that big lane advantage that Romania has been able to exact in that top lane.
Yeah, so now Gnar is a big split push threat for this team. If Shen decides to ult any lane or go bot or try to teleport any other lane, that Gnar can just push this to the end. So there's itemization for Gnar. You can go with Frozen Mallet or both Black Cleaver, but in this case I feel like Black Cleaver is a better itemization choice.
I'm just disappointed that the Wicked build doesn't work for Gnar anymore, where you go Runan's Hurricane for tons of attack speed. So you turn into Mega Gnar and you just bust kids up. You're just like, hey, what's up? I've got 70% attack speed buff. Can't do that anymore, so you can only buy Runans on ranged champions now, so it doesn't, it's not quite as effective as it used to be. Of course, I think a lot of people would argue that it wasn't very effective in the first place, but I recall Wicked winning games with it, so we'll see if that comes out there either. But now we get a chance to see the top lane lead snowball a little bit more into some other global objectives. The Rift Herald, under attack, what on earth was that Nightmare? Going right in onto Gabano, ace in the hole, blocked out by AOD, and there's a nice Monsoon, but is it nice enough? Tempest there to disengage, and AOD and Gabano, they're trying to get out of there. Spleet's pretty fast, but I don't think he's fast enough. Shen ult coming in, though. He wants to ult all the way there. Shen actually is in range, but perfectly condemned all the way back against the wall. Gustav is there. We'll see if he's able to turn that one around. Stay away, Spleet. A couple more auto attacks to take him down. He's trying to get that action in, but is finally going to go down there. Gabano to take him out. A double kill there from Vayne. Now Aldi there able to get some slows, get some move speed off of Nightmare. He's not going to last very much longer. That's a 4-1 score off of a beautiful turnaround. Romania putting themselves on the board.
Great usage of Q coming in from Janna.
Aldi's actually maybe going in for another kill. He's going to bounce forward there. He's going to get outplayed under turret. Dangerous game. Getting in there for a stack, keeping him alive and allowing him to pick up another kill.
Very close, very close. Gritty, but close. But what I wanted to talk about was AOD's skill usage. He saved himself twice with that tornado, so great Janna player.
Yeah, 003 working on his secret agent status and 4 more assists we'll see how that works out as we continue to look at what has honestly been a very impressive duo lane here. We talked about this coming into this game. The Romanian duo lane, it's going to be something to be feared. AOD, professional competitive experience. Gabano has crushed solo queue on multiple regions. EU West is ranked #1, ranked 3, I think, is his highest on EU Nordic East. So it's an incredible lane to watch, and we'll see if this works out for Romania, or XPC Gaming if you watch them internationally.
Yeah, the game's been on side of Romania, as the lanes that they're supposed to win, they won it very well, and the lane that they're supposed to lose, now Vayne's over 20 CS over Caitlyn and has a kill and assist more, so this is a very good result for Romania coming out of the laning phase.
And I don't know, Gabano was going to get his fortune told this morning. It's like, what items should I buy? The fortune teller is just like, anything that builds out of Zeal. So he's got for one Zeal item. He's got that first item, Static Shiv. A lot of questions about that. I know we actually asked some players, hey, what do you think about the Zeal start for Vayne? Not very flattering on their responses for that. So not sure what's going on with that, but he's got a second Zeal, and he's probably looking for a Phantom Dancer, most likely to come out. Could go for Rapid Fire Cannon, though,
Rapid Fire Cannon.
I think that's a much more likely item.
From what I've been talking to pro players, usually Vayne, you try to rush VF first item, not building into anything, but just for the power spike and go Fire Cannon immediately, or rush Fire Cannon. But in this tournament, it has its own meta. They're trying to build Static Shift, but it's working out for Gabano at this moment in this game right now, so I guess.
To be fair, Gabano's working out for Gabano. It's just very strong individual plays, making it work. But now we're going to see a jungler versus jungler, Xerxes versus Spleet. Here comes Gustav over the wall. He's going to be dashing around their Nightmare with a nice box there to lock down that tiny little area in between that brush. Shen coming in on top of Spleet. Will it be in range for anything? Ace in the hole! Lands onto AOD. Not a lot to accomplish there, but in the meantime, man, Aldi is pushing up that top lane like a monster. Of course, he is a monster there, Nekandar. He's going to be able to take down that second tier turret and keep that split push alive. Shen does have teleport, so will be able to return to save that base turret, but it looks like he's actually going to stay around here as Gabano is putting out a lot of damage. There's a charm to land there on a Nightmare. Nightmare goes down to Silver Bolt. Gabano on a killing spree. He's going to be clocking in for a double kill. Maybe some more damage to come down here. Dragon actually not being taken down there. Might actually kill off Gabano, but it doesn't re-aggro. Reset there. Not sure what Stack is up to. Gustav's going to take him down, and that is a 3-for-0 exchange, and Aldi is still in the base.
And this is what I've been talking about. This is the same thing that happened in the last team fight. They try to use Shen ult, try to use Shen TP, and try to make a play at bot. But Janna using a lot of Janna's skill usage has been very great this game, trying to keep this team alive. And then because they're losing their second tier turret, third tier turret, they try to take it all, try to get that dragon. But this time it didn't work out very well, and they all ended up dying.
Yeah, hashtag things Janna does there. Really great play there by AOD. 1 assist away from Secret Agent status, so we'll see if he's able to get that. Still waiting for the third Zeal to be bought by Gabano. I have faith. I mean, Phantom Dancer, not a bad item to buy anymore. It's kind of situational, but I believe in the third Zeal. How many Zeals can you fit on one champion? Trinity Force, another option, Not really.
I remember when you used to rush 4 BFs on Pantheon too. That used to be a thing.
I remember when Pantheon, like, you could rush all ability power items and kill everybody. So, thankfully, not quite the same situation nowadays. But man, you can see that Static Shiv just going to work there. Gabano, very strong 402. He's kind of leading his team there, but you also can't emphasize the amount of power that Aldi's brought to this team. Now, he's not actually going to go for a Frozen Mallet just yet. Looks like he's going for, what is that, Yomu's Ghost Blade coming up next. I mean, he's able to put a lot of power into that top lane. It looks like he's going for even more offensive items just to make sure that he can crush that lane matchup.
Yeah, he knows that he doesn't need to team fight. He knows that his team can 4v5 and still win fights. So he's just looking for that more split push pressure in the top lane, and then that might be the overall plan of this game.
Keeping an eye on both sides of the map. Nara, top lane, getting a split push on. Bottom lane, the split push is actually Gustav, and depending on how things work out down there, that's an Abyssal Scepter on Ahri. gives you the magic resistance, but it's really going to be about the magic resistance reduction when he gets up close and personal with Stack if he wants to keep that split push going. But a 1-3-1 being executed pretty well here by Romania. Let's see if they're able to get this on Spleet, trying to make a play on Gabano in the mid lane, charges in, gets the fear, but will he be able to lock in the flash, the taunt, but a beautiful knock up there by the Lulu ult on the stay away Spleet. Teleport in there from Aldi, knocks down the Thresh, takes him out. Armored Dragon, another kill coming in there. Aldi on point, and Xerxes in the mid lane, he's still pushing into the base. Recall there by Kalen's not involved in this fight at all, and that's a 3-0 in Romania's favor.
Yeah, the Hecarim Shen combo has not been working very well for this team this entire game, and they try to keep forcing it, but it does not work out.
Or stay away from Spleet. This is essentially what this matchup is like. It's like absolutely nothing you can do. Forcing the Shen to run between double turrets. That is a little bit painful to watch. Of course, equally strong push up the mid lane. A sixth turret, rather. A sixth turret. There we go. I fixed my voice. Sixth turret taken down, and that does include the inhibitor turret in the top lane. So only one outer turret remaining.
And no turrets down for Team Romania. So game looking very good for them at this moment.
Hey, they're tied in dragons, though. You see Ollie, his modus operandi is just running around the map. It's like, all right, I'm going to pick one champion and then just chase them forever. And now he probably could go back and complete a few items if he wants to, but it actually does look like that's what he is. And there's the Youmuu's Ghostblade we were talking about. The Ghostblade Gnar, not sure I've seen too much of that one, but he is going to be ridiculously difficult to deal with in the split push.
Yeah, so right now, Team Tunisia doesn't really have much things they can do. They can't push up Vision because they might get caught out by both Elise or Ahri. Those are very pick-oriented champions. What they can do is try to farm up, wait out this game until Caitlyn gets that three core item, Power Spike, and win off the Lulu comp. So
Hecarim doing prompt, the rest of XPC Gaming right on top of that Baron. Spleet does have his ultimate available. He can run in there and try for some steals. Instead, he's going to use his ult defensively, trying to preserve his own life, but at what cost? He's not going to be in there for the Baron. It is going to be taken there by Xerxes. That's going to be XPC Gaming representing Romania with the first Baron buff of the game. Oh no, Spleet, no! He didn't go back to base far enough. The struggle of being a Hecarim here at this point in the game. He's gonna die, go out the hard way, and Aldi, man, just continuing to impress. 5-1-1. The power of the Youmuu's Ghostblade walks right into another impressive hook. And to be fair, Nightmare has been a nightmare for XPC, roaming mid lane several times to kill off Gustav, but may just be a little bit too little, too late. There's only so much one support Thresh can do. Pushing through the mid lane, that inhibitor turret's gonna go down. There's Gustav jumping forward. Descendant does land on his Xerxes. The flash, the Gnar misses there from Aldi, so a little bit of pie on his face, but he's gonna kite backwards very, very well, and then it's the second inhibitor of the game.
The damage coming in from Ahri, though, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's a death cap Ahri, by the way. He's already got 10 stacks on it. His mini Medjais. Looking to stack that up or maybe transform that here in the near future. Aldi recalling back to base, and he is going for, once again, for that AP Elise build. We've seen that all day long today, every single time we've seen Elise, and it's always been very effective.
Yeah, Runglaive Elise very strong right now. Dragon is up in 14 seconds. They're going to try to push out this wave, so while they're dealing with that, try to take Dragon. 14k gold difference at 22 minutes, so...
Now, to be fair, after you get past 20 minutes into the game, both teams get home guard bonus on all of their players, so that may make it slightly easier for Tunisia to defend their base, able to just go back to base, home guard back out to try to stop some of these minions coming in.
To be honest, even if they home guard, they're just going to be faced with Bear minions. I mean,
and look at Stay Away Spleet. He is there's actually Youmuu's active use there. Aldi is essentially in a 1v5 situation here, just trying to kite things out, be as annoying as he can be. And this outer turret, possibly even both bottom lane turrets, is not going to be in a great spot there. Aldi looking to put down so much damage, using an extra Mega Gnar auto attack range to help pick up that kill on the Nightmare. And he's not done yet. He's about to transform back into Mini Gnar. He's just marauding this base and bringing up so much attention. He even has teleport so he can recall, regain 1,000 HP, and teleport right back into the fight. Looks like it might not be too much fighting left to rejoin. The rest of his team ice in the hole, getting blocked there by Xerxes.
Shen just was melted. I thought it was a Shen support, not a top laner. Crazy damage coming in from this team.
Xerxes repels in, flashes back out. Aldi TP's back in, he's already down below half HP, but it won't matter there. The play back onto the fountain. Nice play there by Nightmare, but it just won't matter. Romania in 24 minutes, they crush the Nexus and 16-3 will take out Tunisia. Nexus exploding. Congratulations to both teams, but especially Romania. A dominant victory there. Finished with an 18,000 gold advantage. Romania picking up this win, reclaiming themselves after a loss to China earlier on in the group. Coming out with a strong performance here. We'll keep an eye on Romania as they progress through the groups, but we are going to head out to a quick commercial break, so don't go anywhere. When we come back, our last game of the night is Indonesia takes on Team Philippines. We'll have that coming your way when we return with more of the 7th IESF World Championship.